Everybody, welcome back. So as you saw in that last video where I featured these FR8s, actually this is one of those FR8s. You know, obviously when I took it out of the stock, you notice that uh, there's no way I'm saving this stock. So I'd mentioned in that video that I had gotten some replacement stocks through RTG parts. That's what this box is today. So we're going to unpack this and take a look at those two FR8 stocks that I got from RTG. I got a few other little piece parts thrown in there. I think I got some SKS parts. I can't remember. I want to say it was maybe some stripper clips and a couple slings and I don't really know what all I got. Can't remember. Anyway, so these are supposedly those um, new old stock sets for that Spanish FR8, and let's take a look at them and see what you guys can expect if you decide to purchase any from RTG parts. I'm under the impression that even though these are new old stock, they may have a little bit of water stains or something. I know that was the case with some of the stuff that Century Arms had quite a while back. And if it does have that, you know, so be it. It's not that big of a deal. Get that out of the way, because that's my invoice with all of my personal information. Okay, let's get all this out. Let me get these slings out. All this out here. So far, these stocks look pretty nice. Let me get the box out of the way without hitting the camera. Wow, these are two really nice stock sets. So, just by way of introduction, some of the other things I picked up were two SKS slings, two of the Chinese style SKS slings. You know, it's just your standard fare, nothing fancy, nothing special, but I figured, well, you know, what the heck, I got plenty of Chinese SKSs, might as well have some slings to go along with them, or have extras just in case. Trying to remember what I paid for each of these while I'm trying to reference my invoice off screen. Oh, that's great. There's no prices listed. Bear with me, and I will tell you what I paid. Stand by. Okay, so these SKS slings, these Chinese ones, you know, just your standard fare green ones with the leather end pieces there. Those ran me, wow, if I can read it, $5.99 each. So you're talking $12 for two slings. So I thought that was a pretty decent deal. Of course, you never can have enough. I can see why they put this in a plastic container. Just a cheap set, NC Star, 20 of those SKS stripper clips. I want to say those were no, not $9. Yes, they were $8.95. And then, just for grins, I did buy one of those UTG AK/SKS front side adjustment tools. I figured that might come in handy. I think they had those running for $8.99. So, I thought it was a pretty decent deal. I may end up breaking that. I read somewhere, well, no, I was thinking about a different side adjustment tool. But anyway, these stocks is the primary reason I placed this order. I just kind of threw on a couple extras just because I was like, well, I can use that other stuff. But once again, these were $199.95 each. Now, I know that sounds super expensive, and I get it. However, this was only $88. Granted, yes, it has a busted stock. Yes, there's a little bit of pitting. Yes, there's a little bit of rust on it, but I still think it's fully serviceable. So we're going to pop this one out of the plastic here. Actually, I'm going to cut it open, and we're going to take a closer look at it because I am curious to see how this stock looks. Now, being a new old stock set, I would imagine these will definitely require some fitting. I would say it's probably, my guess would probably be that this is probably close to, I don't know, an 85 to 90% inlet. So let's just take a quick look. There's the butt plate, a little bit of mold going on there, mildew or something. Looks like a little bit of water stain on the rear here. I don't understand why they have water stains. I don't know what's going on with that. I've seen similar things from stuff that came out of Century Arms in the past. I don't know if it's just poor storage or I really don't have a clue there. Of course, as you saw in that previous video, I was talking about that rear sling, which actually slides in here, and then a nail goes in from the backside to kind of hold this thing in place, which you can basically reuse every bit of that, or I guess you could get a new nail, to be honest. But it looks really good. Of course, it does feel a little bit rough. It's going to need some fine sanding. Of course, you know, I don't expect it to be totally smooth because I've still got to fit it to the rifle. Speaking of fitment, I noticed on this upper handguard, definitely going to require some fitment, which is fine, but you can tell if you, like, well, I'll just show you. I'll shut up and show you, and then I'll explain. I mean, definitely nothing wrong with this handguard here, but if you look at it, I'm going to try to turn it where you can see it on the camera. Kind of pay close attention there. You'll see that these sides kind of, they round and then they come up to the very center, and there's a ridge here with a bit of a point, almost triangular at the top. So this will have to be sanded down smooth a little bit, but that's okay. It actually is smooth back here, but then the ridge starts here and runs the full length of that upper handguard. You can probably see it on the camera here. It's kind of hard for me to see it because I'm referencing my GoPro and it's linked to my phone, and it's, yeah, I can't see very well. So anyway, there's that upper handguard. It basically fits right on there like so. Of course, you're going to have to do some fitting. So, well, you're going to have to, when you do your fine sanding, you're going to have to make sure that your profile is the same front to back. Now, rough profile, you know, it's pretty much there. Pretty much fits. It's very slight difference here on the profile on the front, but, you know, I'm not overly concerned about that. I just wanted a really nice stock set. But, you know what? I may go ahead and open up this second one just so you guys can see that as well. Let me grab my bag to put this stock back in. Because the second one looks like it's a little bit different wood grain. You know, kind of like how when I did the unboxing of these two Spanish FR8s, if you guys notice, go back and reference that video. There will be a couple links in the description down below, and you can see that the wood grains were quite different. In particular, you'll notice that this one had a, well, you can't see it well now, but it has a beautiful wood grain, but of course the stock's missing a massive chunk. Let's check this one out real quick, because it definitely looks like it, like I said, it's got a different looking wood grain to it. Not bad, it just actually looks kind of nice. Of course, you can tell these are kind of rough milled. I don't know what this white powder is, but you can probably see it a lot better on camera. But you can see ridges in here, and it's very rough to the texture, or very rough textured. So this will obviously have to be sanded smooth. But we'll just show you just a really quick overview of it. Of course, there's a, I don't know if you guys can hear it on the camera, there's a bird outside. It's about to drive me nuts. It's a bit of a knot right here. But yeah, I think this one will stain up really nice. Of course, there's your inlet, and it'll probably have to be fitted. I'm not overly concerned about that once again. And of course, your butt, which you can see of it. Like I said, I don't know if that's mildewed or what going on that butt plate, or where the butt plate goes, the butt of the gun. And then here is our upper handguard, which is quite a bit smoother. Once again, it's got its inlet there. It looks great, but once again, it's got that strange ridge going on, but looks really nice. So there are those two Spanish FR8 stock sets. They will require some fine fitting. I fully expected that, and that's just a beautiful grain that's running through there. Hope that doesn't become a hope that doesn't become a split point. Very well could, But you can kind of tell it is kind of rough inletted, so there's definitely going to be some work involved with that. And I'll probably, whenever I get the time and get around to it, I'll probably be trying to do a video setup where you guys can see some of the work behind that. That may be a time-lapse thing because I know there's going to be a lot of work involved with fitting these stocks. And I got to do some research into these Spanish FR8s to find out what they finish their stocks with, because I would be curious to know, because I want it to look right, obviously, you know, as historically accurate as possible. So that'll, of course, once again be part of another, I guess you could say, future project. I've got 14 million of them, I know, and counting. But in my mind, you get the surplus, you get the parts, you get things like that cheap while you can, because you may not have an opportunity to get it in the future, and then you have plenty of time with which to work to do your restoration. Because I would hate to buy one of these, wait to get a stock, and then not be able to get a stock in the future, and then it's like, well, you're kind of up a creek at that point. You know, you've got a really nice FR8 or a decent FR8, and it's got a busted stock, and then you can't use it. So that's why you guys are seeing so many unboxings rather than so much more of the restoration. You know, I know for a fact RTG Parts only had 27 of these initially, or 26 of these in stock when I purchased my two. Now their stock status was, you know, it stayed like that for quite a while. But, you know, if you guys are like me and you see a deal on something like this FR8, you may go out and buy one, like, oh, I need a stock now. It can dry up very quickly, just like any surplus. So, and they are actually the only source I know to get these new old stock FR8 stock sets. I've not seen any place else selling them. They're the only ones. Of course, you can always take an M43 Spanish Mauser stock and cut it down to work with this. But I'd rather get something to save me some work. Because even after you cut it down, you still got to do the part for your end cap and everything else. So anyway, just wanted to take a quick moment to share this with you guys today, of an offering, obviously, from RTG Parts. Man, I still can't get over this one. This one's gonna, I think this one's gonna look nice. Of course, it looks like maybe some oil got in this right here, but it's okay. I plan on using these things, so we'll clean this up, we'll sand it, then we'll get it fitted to the actual barreled action and go from there. So of course, as always, it's going to be another more future projects. But anyway, just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Want to thank all my subscribers. Want to thank everybody for your likes, your shares, your comments. Once again, as always, it helps the channel out more than you know and more than I know, because nobody understands the YouTube algorithm. I wish I did, but sadly I don't. I think sometimes the rules change. So, actually, I know they do. So, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, you guys have a great day.